Hello, I'm FDX and I woke up this morning with a rather fun idea for Minecraft. I figured why not set up a brand new realm with absolutely nothing on it, but then invite people via both Twitter and Discord, which I've now officially done, and then see what happens if I give people no instructions, just wait a week while inviting literally everyone.
Hello, hello, everyone. How's it going? I think my stream finally turned on properly. Hello. Why are you coming out of my headset? Wrong place. Hold on. I can hear you, but you're coming out of the wrong location. Is that better?
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep.
Do I sound clear to you?
Yep.
Okay, good.
So how have the streams been going?
Good, good. I've been trying to stream every day, other than the times I get sick,
Understandable.
so. But yeah, I'm working on our D&D campaign, name, the logo and the name of it.
Gotcha.
Because it's the Dragon Flight Epic.
Dragon Flight.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny because one of the people in our D&D campaign is actually writing, like his character is writing about our adventures. So his book that he's writing in is going to be the epic that is at the end of the which will be the story of our story. It's real meta. Now I have to make a cool like logo thing for it. I don't have to, but I want to.
Gotcha.
So I'm trying to figure out how to do just that. And like a scrub, I write right on the background layer. And not draw on a blank layer so I can't move my things. Need a good, like, Skyrim-esque font. Have you been doing anything lately? Up to anything?
Not really. Mostly just been going to work. Going back. Going back. I've gotten to the point where I am absolutely losing my marbles because it's become monotonous.
How so?
Well, doing the same thing every week is kind of, I guess, not depressing, but dull.
Mundane.
Yeah.
It's probably the word you're looking for. I mean, as long as you're not, like, losing your job or anything.
Well, not yet. I won't find out until the end of this month.
Well, I guess work real hard. I don't know.
Yeah. That's the plan.
I need to look up some fonts. The nice thing about working on a project that I'm, like, for me, is I don't have to worry about copyright issues nearly as much. So I can use DaFont. Dragon Slapper is a font. Okay, those are the three fonts that I want. Open, install, and play. Yeah, I've been going to the bar a lot and stuff, doing a bunch of weird, not weird things, but just like hanging out, seeing people.
Gotcha.
Oh, I like this font. Definitely needs some work. Supposedly I downloaded a troll font, but I don't see it, and it makes me sad.
You have to what?
A troll font.
Troll font?
Yeah, but I can't find it. There it is. It's not spelled troll, it's spelled Toril. It's actually annoying. Okay. I think it's referencing something though. Have you seen Alita?
No.
I heard it's good. I haven't seen it yet.
I haven't actually seen any movies recently.
Well, two movies I would suggest would be whatchamacallit, Alita and Spider-Verse. Spider-Verse was real good.
Yeah, I heard that one got real popular.
The animation's just really good. last one is Dragonwick. Looks almost Aladdin-y.
The good kind or the bad kind?
What do you mean? Oh, yeah, I would say Disney Aladdin.
Oh, they're both Disney.
No, they're not both Disney. The other one's a
Disney.
mistake.
Disney owns both of them.
No, Disney doesn't own both of them. Disney doesn't deserve to own both of them. No, but yeah, really, it's the original one. The
well,
one.
if you minute, huh?
Oh, what were you gonna say?
No, finish your thought.
Oh, so the top one's kind of hard to read. The middle one is like real. It's almost a little campy. Like it's trying too hard. And then the last one is probably the most crisp, but it does read a little Disney in it. Which isn't bad, it's a little... Here, let me look up the Aladdin logo. Okay, it's not as close as I thought it was, but it's pretty close. So I guess that's the one I'll go with. So what were you gonna say?
I was gonna say, if you decide to take a break from that, would you be interested in doing anything, or is that a priority project?
I mean, it's not a priority project, but it is like a thing I'm doing.
Okay.
I try to play I played a little Monster Hunter, and that went okay, I guess.
What's that mean?
It went well. I didn't do much, is really what it comes out to be. I don't know where I put this though. I should definitely play with the scale of things. So let's make that much fatter.
Was I supposed to be watching the stream this whole time?
No. I just was streaming.
No. Did you display the other fonts already? I can see the Disney one.
Yeah, they were up on the screen. Those are the other two.
Gotcha.
No, that shouldn't be rotated. That looks weird. I do like the epic where it is. The epic looks real tight. I don't know where to put this though.
I think up there on the... I think above the D and dragon is... Yeah.
So I'm trying to make this not as long. like textually. Yes, there was no space in there. Some weird arbitrary number for the font size, and that's why is, there we go. Tighten that up a little more.
So your goal is 10 followers?
Yeah. Not a very high goal.
It's a goal nonetheless.
It's more of just a checkbox thing. Just trying to fill in.
Although it says here that you have 24 followers.
No, it's to get 10 more followers.
Oh, to get 10 more followers.
Yeah.
So you want 30 in total.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I don't know, I'm not really going for the streamer game. I'm doing it just more to force myself to art more.
Mm-hmm.
Because if I don't, then I won't be productive, I guess. I don't know. Just trying to keep at it, you know. Keep on the grind.
Gotcha.
Okay, right in the center there. I kind of like that. That looks real cool. So what I'm going to do is try to draw a pair of dragon wings. And put this inside that kind of shape.
Between the two dragon wings?
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to brush that in, because the way I was doing it was going to take too long. Okay. Do something like this. Yeah, I got 600 likes on Instagram from my Pokemon drawing. So that was exciting.
Neat.
And it's still going up, which is blowing my mind. Like, I don't know how much more that's gonna go, but that's, I would love to be in the thousands on each of my posts. That's a real goal. Is just to have 1,000 likes. But 600 ain't bad. Unfortunately, all 600 people didn't follow. Though I have gone from 250 to 350 on followers on Instagram, so that's nice. It's a little boost. I have to channel my inner tattoo artist right now because this is gonna look like a tattoo. Well, I was gonna have some people come over and play Exceed today.
See.
Unfortunately, nobody feels like messaging me. They messaged my roommate and they're like, "Hey, you home to play Exceed?" And he's like, "No, but my roommate is." And he was like, "You can contact him on Discord or his phone or whatever." And nobody contacted me. And I was like, well, I thought they wanted to play Exceed.
Feels bad, man.
I mean, it's not even a feels bad. I don't care. That's just less work for me. I don't have to have people over, but I was expecting people want to come over and play, so their loss.
And at like 7:30, you get a bunch of knocking on your door.
Yep, that's literally what's gonna happen. I guarantee you. I am going to shut down the stream. I am going to be like, okay, it's been a good long day. I'm gonna retire for the evening. Get in my PJs. My roommate's gonna come home from work, and he's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I brought like 4 other people." I'm like, "Fuck." No, it's fine.
Also, when did you get another roommate?
What do you mean?
Or like, how long have you had a roommate?
Since Vanessa and I broke up.
Ah.
Like, he moved in like a week after. Actually, we were trying to kick Vanessa out to have him move in. It's looking a little weird, but it's not bad.
Kind of looks like we're looking at the dragon's back and it's turning its head to the right.
I was thinking it was its front, like this is its chest area. I mean, your observation is not incorrect, it's just different from what I was expecting. But somehow I'm going to have to squish him down a little bit. Or thicken him up somehow. Because the text has to fit in there somehow. Maybe this will help. Well, I could try that. Here, let me try this kind of style and wing. It's gonna look a little Batman-y though. That's a big brush. Bigger than I was anticipating. There we go. Nice thick wing. So what I'm gonna do is line work it and then maybe figure out how to connect or vectorize it. I mean, the vectorizing isn't like hard, it just I would have to do it properly. So I don't know, have you heard of my little rant? Not rant, my little like hype about the little script I wrote?
Script or
Yeah,
what?
for my Twitch.
No.
So I wrote this script for Twitch, that basically it looks at a bunch of BuzzFeed articles, BuzzFeed and like Facebook articles, real generic topics like 10 reasons why this happens. And what it does is it takes the most common words out of them and removes the topic and then replaces the topic with something I'm more interested in. So if it's like a makeup thing, it's like 10 ways to apply makeup. It might be 10 ways to apply game design. So as you can imagine, it's a cool program because it's unlimited little like topics, but it also gives some really weird topics. So some of the topics that have been popping up in my chat are like, forget game design, 10 reasons why you no longer need elf? 10 reasons why you no longer need it. That's it. It's like, what? Forget game design, 10 reasons why you no longer need it. What does that even mean? Or the ultimate glossary of terms about education.
Huh.
So you get some really weird things in there. It's more for amusement, but like those things I just was like, oh, okay. I guess that's what it wants me to talk about. I don't even know what that means. Go. Now I have the wings down. Let me try to pop a head in. Pop a head.
So besides art and D&D and Beat Saber, what do you usually do?
Nope, that's just my life. And drinking? Yeah, no, that's my life right now.
Beat Saber, art, D&D, and drinking.
Yep.
Doesn't sound like an awful life.
It's not, but it's not a very productive one.
Do you have any income?
Huh?
Do you have any income?
Well, right now I have the apartments that I'm working with, and they are keeping me afloat, but I am not making money. I am just not losing any. So I'm in early retirement right now, if that's what you're asking. Should I add spikes back here? Or would that be too much?
I don't know.
So, okay, I don't know if I've talked to you about our campaign, but right now we are, there's two groups for this campaign going. Group Alpha, Group Delta, and one of the groups is with completely new players, people who don't know what they're doing, and like, yeah, basically a completely new group. The other group is a group of fairly experienced players. However, that in D&D, the nice thing about D&D is that doesn't matter. Actually, in some ways, the inexperienced players have an advantage. But in other ways, they don't. Merge layers. And they, so group, I'm gonna call the experienced group Group Delta, inexperienced or group experienced is gonna be Group Alpha. Group inexperienced is Group Delta. So the Alpha or the Delta group got to get started earlier, or they did their first mission first. However, they real fucked up, good and hard, and shouted at the top of their fucking lungs in the forest with a giant dragon overhead. Actually, it's a wyvern, not a dragon, because in this story, all the dragons have deceased. And we are the only ones with the last dragon eggs in the world, and we have to deliver them to a cauldron and light them on fire. So, yeah, so Group Delta goes out. They trip down a mountain, basically, stumble down a mountain, but they do it fairly well. Their druid tries to befriend a spider, a giant spider that's trying to eat them at night. However, their tiefling buddy kind of just shoots it and kills it and murders it, along with everybody else. Not a huge story plot point, but it happened.
He killed the party?
No, he killed the spider that the druid was trying to befriend. So the druid wasn't very happy. But at that point, they were still headed down the mountain from a great powerful wizard who was holding back a storm that an actual god was creating, because he was kind of pissed that humans were killing all the dragons off. So these little adventurers head back down the mountain. They kill a spider. One of them falls off across a waterfall. There's a waterfall that's going on, and everybody jumps across, but this our littlest one, a half elf, trips and falls and hits her head on the way down, and we don't see her for a while. So we continue on our quest. Just kind of hope that she didn't die, but didn't really know. Assumed she did. So we just kept going. And then as we get to the bottom of the mountain, or I would say like the base part of the mountain, not the bottom. We find her holding on, just barely holding on to a rock, unconscious, with her mage hand, because she has this weird affinity for a mage hand. And so we rescued her in this like ankle deep water, because everybody thought it was real deep, and it was funny, but it wasn't like that deep. But yeah, we all saved her, and she gets out. We all heal up, and then we head out into a cave. That's where we find the spider, by the way. Sorry. Totally out of context of the story. I'm terrible at storytelling, by the way, if you can not tell. And so we're in this cave. We fight the spider. We successfully win. And that is end of night 1. Group Alpha then goes the next week. And their group meets up with Habal, who is the great powerful wizard who gives them their eggs. And basically their story is real short for this one, because they took a long time getting up the mountain. They fell through the bridge to get to the sanctuary where Habal was giving people their eggs. Not just anybody, people who could make it up. But a lot of people died during the storm, so our adventurers are basically the only ones left of our towns who made it. But yeah, so they fall down in the bridge, and then that's the end of their week. Our week, we return to Delta week. and we start walking through the forest, headed south as we were told, and a giant dragon roars. We hear this giant dragon roar, and our group looks up in astonishment, and one of our party members, our paladin, who is an Esmir, I don't know, basically he's an angel, not an angel though. He doesn't believe in God. He believes that he's an atheist angel. So he doesn't believe that the gods are real. Like, he believes that they're real because they are. He doesn't believe they're actual gods. They're just better humans, or better, like a more powerful species. He doesn't worship them though as a god. So for some reason he felt like shouting, "Hey, there's a dragon," or "There's a wyvern," and the wyvern notices us real well. The wyvern wasn't supposed to notice us. So yeah, we have a level 10 wizard on a bunch of level 1 kid adventurers. So we run. Actually, it lands right in front of us. We're like about to shit ourselves. I'm hidden in a tree because I'm playing a wood elf druid, so I can just hide. So it comes down and counts the 4 other party members. Didn't see me though. And the half elf walks up to it and says, tries to negotiate with it, and like, "We'll play a game, or we'll do a bet or something. You let us live and we'll give you something," or whatever he said. And basically it was like, "Nah, you look too tasty. I'll give you 5 seconds." And it was like 5, 4. So we all scramble away and run for our lives, running through this forest. But before we did that, I forgot, our tiefling and our bard, that's the last party member I have not mentioned, they flashbang the wyvern. So this wyvern is now blind and really pissed off because it got to 2 and then they flashbanged it and we ran. So we all start running through the forest, and we hear it get up out of being flashbanged, and it comes flying after us. So we don't know what to do, but we find a camp. We find this camp that is just happens to have some wyvern traps, because of some of their adventures trying to catch this guy, and some bedrolls and food and whatnot. So we picked up the wyvern traps, and or I did, because I'm fluent in traps or whatever. Not fluent, but like I use them. I have the highest skill in them. So I pick up these traps, and our tiefling and bard team up together again, and they make I make a smoke cloud that the bard sings into, making it look like a sexy dragon, and our tiefling sings. Actually, the bard just sculpts. Our tiefling sings to make it sound like a sexy dragon. So the wyvern comes down. Actually a sexy wyvern. The wyvern comes down and wants to check it out. He immediately notices it's like a fake thing, but it was too late. We were all right there. So our bard does laughter and makes the wyvern laugh so hard that it falls on the ground and just starts giggling. And I smash 2 traps, one on its face and one on its wing, and we deck it off for the evening. That's the end of that week. Our next week, Group Alpha, we're back at Group Alpha. They start walking through a cave system, and they find a giant cutout of a demi monster, like a demigod monster, basically something that like moves mountains. Like, it literally moves mountains. That's its job. So it's this real big carving of one of those monsters, and we realize that we are actually in the tunnel of one of its, like, of it just kind of walking around thing. So we're like, oh crap, that's big. the group then continues on, nothing much, and they hang out in a little cove. Unfortunately, the fox, or the tabaxi or whatever he is, he has one ability and he can turn into like a fox or a wolf or something. And he turns into that and goes deeper into this little like cavern. At the very end of the cavern, there's two ogres, or orcs, or goblins, or something. There's two gross looking monster creatures, and they start attacking him, and Group Alpha dismantles them quite quickly. Some good hits, not much damage taken, but a little shooken up after the battle because they were not expecting to fight these creatures. So they rest up for the rest of the night, and they continue on their way, and they are out of the cave and into a forest. Just so happens to be the same forest our group Delta was in, but unfortunately Group Delta is a week in advance already, and this is both in story and like playtime. So they are literally, they've done what they've done a week before our group Alpha has done. So Group Alpha goes to a river and looks at the river, and they're like, oh, there's a dragon that is or not a dragon, another wyvern, but this is a nice wyvern, and a bunch of foxes are riding on its back through the river, because it's safer to be on this wyvern than be anywhere else. So we all jump in and try to clamber on to the wyvern, and we take the wyvern down to the peninsula where they were supposed to go. So they made a real easy escape to the end of the river and to where the peninsula is, where they're supposed to light or free their dragons. So when they get to this cavern, or this area, this ruin, it's unmarked because the god that this ruin was built for doesn't believe in markings and whatnot. So they plop a no. How does this go? Because I'm trying to remember. I'm sorry. So they walk up to it, and a giant red wyvern, basically a Rathalos. Imagine a Rathalos, comes around the spire and says, "Hey bitches, I'm not happy," and it looks real beat up. It's not a happy wyvern. It is a beat up wyvern, and he doesn't look like he wants to talk very much. So he just starts breathing fire. We noticed the little there's like a little cauldron in the center, and we're like, we need to get that thing lit up, and he has the fire sack that we need to light it with, because to light this cauldron you need a fire sack. So they all battle the wyvern. It's an epic battle, and eventually they got the wyvern to breathe fire on the cauldron in mid-battle. Unfortunately, however, someone knocks the cauldron over and disperses all the fire. And we're like, crap. So we focus fire on the wyvern and end up killing it. The wyvern goes down. It is dead. It is very dead. And we were like, well, now it's dead. How do we light the cauldron? Because we fucked up and all the coals are everywhere. We need to relight it. Good idea. One of our party members was to rip out the fire sack and light the fire sack on fire in the cauldron with some sticks. And that's what we did. After that, we then placed the eggs into the cauldron and hatch, and that is how our dragons hatched. For Group Alpha. Group Alpha then kind of ends their night at a little camp and gets to meet their dragons, and each dragon has a personality and is not controlled by the players, but the DM herself. So at least until they get tamed, which won't be for a while. So they're going to be doing their own shit. So some of them might listen to their owners and some may not. We don't know.
Gotcha.
But there's a range of them from gold to what's it called? Gold to
Bronze.
silver, copper, and then I'm totally blanking on the last one. Basically, they got all the metal dragons except the gold one. And then they got one blue dragon on their team.
What'd you guys get?
So if we're going back to Group Alpha, they are now. We're going back in time too. Okay, so Group Alpha is ahead of Group Delta. Or no, Group Delta is ahead of Group Alpha. So
And
everything I just explained.
Your
all-
Group
Huh?
Alpha or Group Delta?
Group Alpha is experienced group. They just got their eggs hatched. Group
I'm saying,
Delta,
which are you?
we won't talk about that.
Are you Group Delta then?
I am group both, but
Okay.
but they don't know that.
Does the DM know that? I mean, I
Yes.
assume she would.
Yes, but the two parties don't know that. So it's gonna be real interesting when they meet up together.
Oh, are they doing that?
Yeah. So group. Yes, Group Delta. We are back in time. Group Delta just killed their not killed. They captured a giant level 9 wyvern as level 1s, but they booked it. They didn't want to stay around to see how to kill it because nothing in their inventory could have probably killed it before it escaped. So they run into the forest and they get stuck in a little mud. As they kind of clamber through the mud, they reach the edge of the forest and it goes out onto a beach. They went a little east instead of a little south. So they're not quite where they need to be, so they have a little time to travel. So as they follow the shoreline south, they come across a obelisk, and that obelisk has a very soothing feeling. It's very chill. Basically, just a place to smoke some weed, you know, man, just to relax and breathe. But because our DM is a Dark Souls fan, I'm like, whenever there's a calming section and a bonfire, that means there's a big monster coming. Oh no. So we all chill out there, and we check to see if it was like trapped or not. It wasn't. And basically that night, as we slept, our little gecko friend, who wasn't very committed to the whole D&D thing right away, so he just wanted to be a familiar, a sentient familiar, to our elf. He hears some noises that night, and he crawls out of the cave that we kind of like were in next to the obelisk for safety. And he goes right next to Obelisk, and he sees Habal, who is kind of the one who gave us the quest. And she was like, "Hey, you need to help the group more, or you can help the group more because they're kind of hopeless on their own." And so she turns him into a blue dragonborn, which she used great power and great magic, and lightning boomed him into existence and turned him from a gecko into a dragonborn. And now he is probably one of the most powerful characters on our team. At least in base stats. He's still level 1 like all of us, but he has the power of a dragon with him.
Gotcha.
So that morning we wake up and we realize that there's a dragonborn with us, and we were like, why? Who is he? So we question him, figure out who he is, learn the story, realize he's the gecko, and we're like, well, we still have to hatch these eggs, or, well, we don't know what we're doing with these eggs, but we need to deliver these eggs to the cauldron. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. So we all kind of accept the fact that a blue dragonborn came out of nowhere, or our gecko turned into a blue dragonborn, which is real fun. We all trump down to we go south, and we see a ruin. And we're like, okay. We also hear a wyvern screaming above, flying above. And we're like, crap, that's scary. So, because we all of us but two can understand Draconic, we hear Katy Perry's Eye of the Tiger singing in a very angry tone, flying around this relic. So that gives you a little vision of what we experienced, I think. So I used my cloud, and I poofed a cloud around us, and our bard turned us all the same color as the cloud. So this ominous cloud floats towards this relic. According to the wyvern who's flying above, all he sees is this floating cloud out of nowhere. But yeah, that's a thing that's happening. We get into the relic, and we kind of check out what's going on. There is a soft flame that is, or no, there isn't a flame yet. There is a cauldron, and it's empty. Our paladin has some weird obsession about birch bark or birch sticks, so he always has birch on him. So he tossed some birch into the cauldron, and we all put our eggs in there, because we didn't know what to do otherwise. We're like, crap, we need fire. So, the great wyvern, our Rathalos, comes down and says, "Hey, what are you?" And our bard thought of a great idea of making our dragonborn act like some great deity, by using an epic voice like spell. However, our dragonborn can't speak for the life of him, and sounds like a 12-year-old girl trying to sound epic, and ends up literally not convincing the dragon at all. Or the wyvern at all. So the wyvern's like, I am going to eat you. And then, as the great wise puck that I am, he looks over to me and's like, why shouldn't I eat you? And I'm like, well, we can make the rain stop. And because he was pouting and complaining up in the air about the rain going. So I was like, we can make the rain stop, I promise. If we don't, you can eat us. If we do, let us go. And he's like, okay, how can you do that? And I was like, just breathe fire on that little cauldron. And he looks reluctant, but he does. He big breath of fire, and poof, he breathes fire. The little eggs hatch, and little dragons sprout out and jump out to their respective owners. Each dragon has a little personality. My dragon kind of wasn't there. It never hatched, or we didn't think it hatched, but it was actually just behind me the whole time. The gold dragon marches right up to the wyvern and is like, fuck you! And looks angrily at him, and we're all like, fuck, he's going to die! Even though he's probably smarter and stronger than all of us, he's still not stronger than that. So we're all real scared, and I think the black dragon comes out, and he is he's kind of derpy, but he's evil. But he went to the paladin, and the paladin just grabs him by the neck and holds him up and says, "You are mine." And he's just like, "You're mine." Like the dragon's like just choking, and he's like, "You are my pet now." No questions asked. Our tiefling has kind of a pouty dragon, one that is thinks he's got the shit down, but he doesn't really. He's just kind of cool. And he's the red dragon. Our sorcerer gets the white dragon, which is an ice dragon, and then the bard gets the gold dragon. Well, the bull.
What did you get?
Oh, the
again?
green dragon. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Because I am a wood elf druid, it seems appropriate.
Is green poison?
Yes. Green is poison, black is acid, red is fire, gold is also fire, copper I think is acid or poison, bronze is acid or poison. I don't know the difference between those two. And then silver is also ice, as well as white. But all the chromatic dragons have a negative allegiance, and all of the metallic dragons have a positive allegiance or alignment. That means we got group Delta got the grumpy, the bad dragons, the ones who don't listen, or not even they don't listen, but they're more evil. The other group got the good dragons, the ones who are gonna be. They're grade A, you know. They do the things that you want them to do, and they're good.
Gotcha.
And so that's where we leave off. We battled the wyvern. I had 2 traps on me still, so I trapped it again. We made it laugh. We flashbanged it. We covered in smoke. It had 4 disadvantage rolls on every turn. And we beat it up. We basically broke its wings, and we ran away. And that's where we left the story, to be continued this Friday.
Huh.
So our DM is a fucking genius, because she just played us a story that already happened without making us do anything, except for like guiding us slightly. So we're basically almost, we just hit the prologue of our campaign. Like, we just finished the prologue to the campaign.
Neat.
Yeah. So it's been quite exciting. And that's why I'm drawing this logo.
Seems like it's coming along.
Yeah, it looks pretty good. I actually like how this is going to turn out. I'm not going to do like crazy amounts of work on it, but just enough to apply it to some stuff. Median. Let's see if this tidies up the edges. Okay, I guess that works. Yeah, that'll do. That'll do, babe. That'll do. Now it's how do I make this look like an actual logo of sorts? But what I can do to start is I'm going to save as, no, there we go, file, save as, PNG, dragon, background, logo. Open up that Illustrator, because I'm too much of a baby to actually make this in Illustrator.
Why is that?
Because
wrong
that
with
would have just been a
Illustrator?
lot of work. No, I'm just image tracing what I just drew to sharpen up the edges. Because why make it when you can make Illustrator do it for you, right?
I feel like I should be offended.
Yes. No? I don't know. Should you?
I don't know.
Ooh, oh. Illustrator crashed. I finished Goblin Slayer. It actually ended really good. It was like it ended at a place that I hope they don't continue with it. Not like because it was bad, but like it just packaged nicely. I don't need another season of Goblin Slayer. I think it was just a good one season anime that did its job.
How did it end, per se?
Basically they battle a giant horde of goblins, but the Goblin Slayer has to ask for help, which was like a really big story arc for him because the entire time he bitched about, like, or he didn't really bitch, but he was like, I don't care if people help or not. You just do your thing, I do my thing, we do our thing, you know. So he was like, he was indifferent, but this time he really did need help to protect his, like, because his family lived at this town, and he was like, I don't want to lose my family, so he genuinely had to, like, step down for a second from his high horse of just killing goblins and being like, hey guys, help me. So it was a really charming story. I thought he had a good character arc. I don't think he can character arc anymore. Any other like story that you add on to this, it's just gonna be like filler. Like you can't have him kill more goblins. It's just, we've had an entire season of him killing goblins, and now it'll, like, if you try to do that again, it won't work. And if you don't do it again, like, I don't think there's any good way, like, any good way that you could do it without, ruining the story. Like, it would just feel like filler at that point, anything after what they've done. Which is a compliment to their work. I think it turned out real great, and it just doesn't need to be, like, overly done.
Yeah.
There we go. That's what I was looking for. See how the edge is real smooth now? That's why I wanted Illustrator.
Gotcha.
Because before it was getting real fuzzy when I did the edging. Where should the light be coming from? Probably that angle.
How late do you plan on being up?
I mean, whenever really. I don't know. It depends on when I go to bed. That's the better question. Will I be weak? You saw the post I sent you? Where
Which
it's like,
one? Video.
it was on like Discord or something.
Oh, on Discord.
Yeah. If I say goodnight in an hour later you see me online, it's not because I lied, but I failed to go to bed.
Yeah.
I was like, that is so true.
Well, I am particularly hungry, so
Get some food, my good boy. Get some food.
I don't mean to abandon the call, but I wanted to know if you would be interested in doing anything after I return, or if you're busy
What
and
were
have
you
things to
thinking?
do. Deep Rock, or something else if you have something. Yeah, I'm not closed off to.
Mhm.
I just want something to do with a friend that isn't always depressed.
Oh, okay. I mean, we can do some Monster Hunter or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Do a round of Deep Rock or something.
I'll go make some food, and if you haven't gone to bed yet, then, yeah. I don't know how to end it. I'll be back later, I guess.
Yeah, sure. See you around.
Okay.
And that's how you end a call. You nick them. No. Gradient. I don't know how to create this logo, damn. I feel dumb. There we go. If we did that. Adding a black to this maybe? Just not having the stroke there. The inner shadow. Oh, I like that. What if I did flip-flops? I do this as blue. And then do a blue gradient. Add some distance to the text, maybe? That does not seem to be working. Now we can bevel it, right? Okay, that's weird. But yes. Not quite happy with this. Looks a little campy. opacity. Oh, hello. Chibi Proxy? You actually terrified me. I'm sorry. Thank you for the host. I just jumped really hard. Super focused on this dragon. So why the biggest myths about 3D modeling may actually be right? I don't know what the myths are, but they might be right. Who knows? See if I can get this angle just right. So I kind of like the dark look of this. Like that looks real cool. What if I do a gradient overlay of gold, like a metallic? Isn't there? Can't I load? No. Yes, here we go. Metals. Append? Correct. Brass, gold. So I want it to... There we go. So that's assuming there's a beam of white light right here and here. So if we want our background to match the same way, we need to also create that streak of light. So I am also going to do a blue similar, but it will be a darker blue. And we will use a lighter. There we go. Isn't there a way to duplicate? Yeah, there we are. Maybe bring up the contrast on these a little bit. Okay. Ooh, I kind of like that. That looks real good. Though this is a little too contrasty still, so I'm gonna bring the white down to a gold. There we go. Little easier to read that text. Does the bevel need to be there then? What if I just stroked it? Just made it real obvious. Almost did a cartoony look instead of the look I was going for, which was a more realistic. Flatten that out and then do a thick stroke. Oh, I wish that was... There we go. Maybe not absolutely black. Have a little blue in there. Is a very intense difference right here. No, not inside. Do we want centered? No. Outside. Probably a bit thinner. That's not bad. Still not a fan of the colors. But I think it's coming along. It's definitely interesting. Because if I just went black, I could do that. It's the darkest part of this. There we go. What if I just did that? No. No. Undo. So this is at a really high resolution, so it might be just me looking at it weird. But I do want to print this, so like I want to get it to look right. So that looks about it. Going to oof, come on, refresh. There we go. So I'm gonna save that as an iteration. Dragon Flight Epic V1 colored. And then save that as a PNG. And then go to yeah, I want to turn off the effects. Go straight to default. This PNG I want to save like this. PNG 1 black and white. Like I like this. I think the base concept is good. Don't know about the background yet. And maybe it just needs to be black and gold like this, to be honest. That's not bad. File. Save as. Lightly colored. Save that. And I think that's a pretty good it's a pretty good story right there. Got a good dragon there. Have the gold in there. The Dragon Flight Epic. Sounds cool. I like it. And save. And I think that's what is my uptime? I've been up for hour 28 minutes. It's not bad. That's not bad at all. It's gonna be a real short stream. Might do Beat Saber. Don't know. Might not. Don't know. Who knows? But I think for the end of this stream, we've accomplished something. I drew a dragon and typed out the name. That's what we've accomplished. Oh god. I'll post that to Instagram. Now on the save, and I'm gonna end our stream here.